Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and today we're going to be jumping into a new album. It's hard to say retrospective, considering this album came out only a little over a year ago. So this will be more like an album, like review slash just look at. There's a word for what I'm thinking, but it's not coming to mind. So, whatever. We're going to be looking at Final Days by Orden Ogan, one of my absolute favorite albums of last year, and considering things like Trivium's In the Court of the Dragon also came out last year, that's saying an awful lot about the staying power of this particular album. So, pardon me. Before we jump full on into it, let's go ahead and roll that D20. Alright, we're doing jazz selections. Now, I haven't exactly changed my robe, but I can tell you right off the bat that I'm going to be wanting to, let's see, I'm going to want to be starting with this. And there's a reason why I want to start with this, and it's not just for the possibility of getting the magician's outfit. And even though I'm going to be using Crash and Meteor, I am going to be using it as a signature, as a standard instead of a signature, because I would like to use something else as my signature cast. It's also very obvious that we're going for the glitch. For those of you that don't know what the glitch is, I mean, how to perform it is being displayed for you right here, right now. But it involves going back through the museum's tutorial area, whereupon afterwards the game will kind of interpret things that things that happen at your house just a little differently. Oh, that was lame. There we go. Alright, give me that cookie. Now we finish out the tutorial section here. Pardon me. Alright, so now that we've done that, now we can actually drop relics and pick up others. Like, you can actually just pick up however many relics you want at this point. The one stipulation is that you have to drop them in between picking up others. So this glitch was discovered not too far out into the game's life, and even though the developers could have patched it out, they just kind of said, nah, it's fun, leave it in. So good on to the developers at Contingent 99 for continuing to let us use things just because they're fun. I can only imagine that how many AAA devs would have jumped at the chance to say, oh, under there's no such thing as fun here. What are you talking about? Harumph, harumph, harumph. Alright, so there we go. As far as what we're going to use during the run, let me just look through, because I've been thinking about this one. And one of the ideas one of the ideas of the album that we're going to be talking about today is that of kind of a kind of a futurist slash end of the world motif. So I'm currently looking over to see what would work best with what I have going on right now. That's right, birds. And since we are running a sort of power theme, I suppose we're going to do that, and then the meteor. Not yet decided on what to do with my brain, which clearly can't function today. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Since we are kind of going with a sort of, tales about the end sort of thing. But that seems a little too obvious, and another one of the themes is the theme of is a theme of kind of mechanical dominance, so... And I guess when I say that, I mean more so the idea that... more so this idea of... I can't think of the word I want to use. Frostfaint... draw enemy attention? Yeah, I think that'll work. That works well with the idea of leaving destruction and decay in your wake. So you'll have to forgive me. Sometimes I have a hard time putting into words what I'm actually thinking. There's my baby right there, which we will take. So, probably best to start with either Freya or the twins. And I think Freya is the best bet just because her and her mooks will be immune to freeze, so... Oh, there it was, and I just like, hey, who cares? Blah. Let's get our gold. Oh wow, look at that. We're just going through the originals. Alright, so I suppose the best question to ask, since we're doing an album review of an Orden Ogan album, is who the hell is Orden Ogan? Because I will be straight up honest with you, I had no idea who they were before. Oh, I'm in trouble. Like, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, that was awful. And that's the sort of thing that happens when you draw the aggression from two enemy groups at the same time, is you just get slammed. So hopefully we don't have to do that again. So now let's go ahead and answer that previous question. Orden Ogan is a power metal outfit from Germany. Which, yeah, when you think of the likes of, like, you know, Halloween, Blind Guardian, the idea of power metal from Germany seems almost like a cliche in and of itself. But hey, when you know what you're good at, that's the only thing that matters. And oh hello, what do we have here? So many things that are going to be boosting my ice-based attacks. Take that, then we'll save the rest and see what comes of it. Now, the actual term Orden Ogan itself... Oh, did you guys just come back? Did I somehow manage to miss them on my way through? I'm so lost. But anyway, the term Orden Ogan itself actually means... I'm going to look this up to make sure I don't get it wrong. There we go, I'm also going to do it. There we go. It actually means Order of Fear. Okay, I would have gotten it wrong if I had just gone off of my own memory. But Orden is the German word for order, and Ogan is an old Celtic word meaning fear, so their albums literally translate to Order of Fear. Alright, well, we definitely want this. There's a good chance I'll end up taking Bouncing Surge as well for a little bit of ranged control. So, what are you... I mean, there's really no question you gotta go with that. Although I might not be able to afford Bouncing Surge now that I look at it. It looks like there's one more combat room, which might help. Now, that was not their original name, though. Give me a moment to look that up. They were founded in June 1996 as, you'll have to forgive me, my German is awful, but Tanzend Einwade. I don't know, Aingewaide. Someone out there is probably much better off helping me pronounce that. They were formed in Arnsberg, North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. So, just give you a little bit of history about the band, where they come from. Never mind, we'll be able to afford it. As far as the album itself was actually released on March 12th, 2021. So yes, this album just came out roughly a year and 3 months ago. Matter of fact, I just realized at the time of recording it is June 12th, so like directly a year and 3 months ago. I wouldn't exactly call that a prophetic statement or anything. It's just when I happen to start doing recording. Okay, I see Tidal Blast. So, all of that is a maybe. And what are you selling? Well, I definitely like this. And I can probably get myself a nice little defensive boost by grabbing the cushion flip-flops. Now, it's because of their name, Order of Fear, that's makes me look at every album with this as if it were kind of like a concept album. Like, okay, guys, what am I supposed to be afraid of on this outing? And on final days, the answer is the end. So every song, well, I guess not every song, but most of the songs have this story about end times. Which I know not everyone is, super pumped to listen to. I mean, it is not a super pleasant topic, I understand that. But then again, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be one of those things you listen to and go, ooh, that's heavy. And I don't think anyone will necessarily disagree with that idea. And as I had brought up earlier, when I chose Bolt Rail, 2 of the songs are actually about machines in and of themselves. I mean, okay. I mean, for what it's worth, I was probably going to give it to him because I don't exactly have a strong melee focus. It's just weird that just kind of happened. Sir, you should search your belongings a bit more carefully. Alright, pretty sure that's the last of that. And as I had mentioned earlier, I'll grab myself a nice little defensive boost in the way of the cushion flip-flops. Not bad so far. Now, that's not to say that that's necessarily that all their albums are about is about, scary themes and things like that, but it's just kind of how I look at it, considering the name of their band. Now, that might not necessarily be the most correct way of doing things. That's just how I like to categorize what I'm listening to when it comes to them. to keep what I have. And there goes that Sierra Mist. Now, what keeps me coming back to this album time and again is, one, that it's power metal, and it's very good power metal. Clearly you can hear the sort of refinement that's gone into their music over the years. Like they've just really taken what they've learned and just hammered it out into this beautiful little affair of an album that I can't get enough of. I mean, from songs that are really fast and harsh, like In the Dawn of the AI and Hollow, to even the, like, there's a song that sounds a lot like a ballad, but it's far from a love ballad. The song is about essentially being alone in space, and you could easily interpret a theme of love in there, but that isn't necessarily what I got out of it. But the name of the song is Alone in the Dark, and it features Ylva Eriksson from Brothers of Metal. Oh, does she do a good job. I mean, both her and Orden Ogan's own primary vocalist, let me look up his name real quick. Yep, Sebastian, nicknamed Sieb Leverman. They both really give it their all on a song like that, and Sebastian himself just already has a really strong voice. And that's demonstrated heartily throughout the entire album. Like he puts a lot of weight behind In the Heart of the Android to really send home the message that he's going for. Oh, you bastard. Okay. The strength of his vocals is heard even more in The Dawn of the AI, and just continuing through, but the two songs that he delivers the most on are the aforementioned Alone in the Dark, and then the closing track of the album. It is like, what is it called? It's the End? I'm going to look it up just to make sure that I don't have it wrong. Wait, it almost sounds like you don't know anything about this album. Shut your mouth. But no, I'm looking it up mostly because I just want to make sure that I get the title right. Because there's a part of my brain that's going, In the End? Like, no, that's In the Dawn of the AI, stupid. Oh, It Is Over. The word end didn't even show up there. It is over. And yeah, if you wanted something to kind of haunt your dreams a little bit, just listen to that song. But to give you an idea as to what exactly is so creepy and melancholic about that song, it's a song about the end of the world. Like, literally, the entire song centers on this idea of it is humanity's final moments on Earth, and there's even a very chilling kind of radio broadcast that plays during the song that's just all about, you know, setting up the sort of story of the song, so to speak. Like, it's dark, it's creepy, but it's also very powerful. It's one of those songs that Pardon me. It's one of those songs you listen to and you just feel, like you feel the melancholy and the darkness as they're going over everything. Now, I want you guys to listen to the song for yourself, so I don't want to drop any kind of like spoilery material on what the song is all about. But oh man, is it something. Thinking about it, what the hell? However, I want to make sure that we're wearing the top hat because we are supposed to be representative of the band's unofficial mascot, Alistair Vale. I don't know if you can call him unofficial, considering that he is on the cover of just about all of their albums after 2008's Vale. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they called him Alistair Vale. Or maybe that's why they called the album Vale. But there is kind of an unofficial theme running through all of Orden Ogan's albums, which is the journey of this cursed immortal who has the unfortunate problem of leaving behind death and decay in his wake. And you can hear that in songs that are very self-referential in their lyrical content, like... Hold on, I'm about to drop a song off of the album Gunman. I believe the name of the song is... See, I love the Gunman album. You'd think I'd be able to do this no problem, but no, my brain has to just go and poop it all up. So let's go back and have a look. It's not too hard to find information on what I'm looking for. It wasn't Forlorn and Forsaken. There you go. Vampire in Ghost Town is one of the songs is the song I was thinking of, and you can also hear it pretty strongly in Gunman's Ashen Rain. Alright, so let's go ahead and upgrade that. Now, why am I talking so much about Gunman when I should be talking about... When I should be talking about Final Days? Well, it's to prove the idea that this character of Alistair Vale is someone who's just kind of... do I say that it's kind of a running undercurrent in their albums, or is it more fair to say it's an overcurrent? Something that runs from album to album. It's not something that they explicitly sing about or call out in their songs all the time. But it's there. It's just kind of this lurking undercurrent and kind of subtle kind of mystery and interest. And on Final Days, the image of Alistair Vale is front and center, as he looks like a mechanical man with a top hat. Now, he doesn't always look mechanical in the album art that features him, but he does always wear a top hat, and that is why I wanted to make sure that the top hat was front and center. Now, admittedly, I have a hard time spotting Alistair Vale on the album art for Ravenhead, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It just means I'm probably not looking closely enough. But that is an element of the album that is present on Final Days. Mr. Vale is very much front and center on the album Gunman. So it's an element that's like, do I dare use the prefix omni to describe this? But it's almost omnipresent in all of their albums. That might be going just a little far, but again, you get the idea. Shark. Now, it's not too hard to hear or it's not too hard to see or hear why they're oftentimes referred to as Blind Guardian Light, or the next successor to Blind Guardian, which, by the way, Blind Guardian also has another album. So they also have a new album coming out. It comes out in September of this year, and I'm very excited. I very much like Blind Guardian and have for years. But then again, I'm also just a very power metal kind of guy. So it's probably no major surprise that I'm a big fan of a very prominent name in power metal. And yes, that does mean that I also listen to Dragon Force. Like I said, there's a special place in my heart for power metal. And simply because of its wider reach and impact, I probably am going to end up doing a Wizard of Metal on either Dragon Force's Inhuman Rampage, or just the song Through the Fire and Flames, which is what kind of put Dragon Force on the map. And yes, admittedly, it's mostly because of hate this room so much. Like, that room just feels like a trap. It just feels like the game is going, oh, what's that? There's no room to maneuver? Gotcha. Well, upgrading Flame Fusion is obviously a go. Now, just because it's one of my favorite albums doesn't mean that there aren't songs on it that I'm not going to say dislike, because I don't dislike any song on the album. But there are songs that are clearly stronger points than others. So, let me see if I can... But from top to bottom, the names of the tracks on Final Days are Heart of the Android, which is I believe their second single released off of this album, and a very strong one at that. In the Dawn of the AI, which is the first single that they released. I believe it was released in, what was it, December of 2020, and oh boy, if that didn't get you excited for the album. Inferno, I believe that was their third single. Interestingly, it was the top 3 songs, the ones that kind of set up the feeling for the rest of the album. Then Let the Fire Rain, Interstellar, Alone in the Dark, which is the one where they have that duet between Sebastian Leverman and Ylva Eriksson. Very good song. Black Hole, Absolution for Our Final Days, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album. Hollow, and then lastly, It Is Over. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Let the Fire Rain and Interstellar, but I do have quite the soft spot for, like I said, Absolution for Our Final Days is another one of the album's highlights for me. I really, really like In the Dawn of the AI. I hold absolutely no shame about the idea that when I listen to the album, there's usually a couple of repeat listens of In the Dawn of the AI. Like I said, I have no shame admitting that. I love that song. And half the time when we're looking for an album to sit and just zone out to, half the time isn't that what we want, is just one really good song that makes you go, oh my god. I'm gonna preemptively answer my own question and say, no, idiot, you want the whole album to be good, what's your problem? And of course you want the whole album to be good, but usually it's 1 or 2 songs that kind of stick your opinion on it. And it's because of that I say, if you have 1 or 2 songs on an album that you're really liking, don't be afraid to admit it. I mean, that's a That's a tactic that they use to sell albums. Is they want there to be those one or two songs that stand out. The one or two heavily broadcast songs that well, not everyone, but most people will be able to identify. Now, some bands go overboard with this, and they'll have something like 5 or 6 radio singles for one album. I mean, previous Wizard of Metal punching bag Nickelback has done that with some of their albums. But I mean, their entire reason for existing is to just sell albums, so... Wasn't that the point of any musician's albums? To which I'm going to flatly respond, no. Some musicians are very interested in telling a story or on the artistic quality of their music. And I'm just here to inform you, Nickelback is none of that. But here I am sharing airtime for one of my favorite power metal bands with fucking hacks. Sorry, Nickelback, you are nothing but hack frogs. And for what it's worth, you know, if you're out there and you're actually listening to Nickelback, then do your thing. Don't let me tell you not to. But I am going to tell you that there's much better music out there, artistically and otherwise. Oh, of course. I didn't get to complete the Poem of Fiery Rhyme or the Magician's Outfit. I'm now a sad boy. An improved stun and signature charge is always good. So is more armor. Oh no, I'll have to come back to this. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that I probably don't need that anymore. I'm gonna pick that up to go with it. And yes, I could have taken the glass cannon, but at the same time, I'm also still realizing that I've got a little bit to go, and there's still a very, very real chance of mistakes being made. So I'd like to not jump the gun. Well, it's interesting because that's exactly what you did. Is you decided to jump away from that gun, and all right, you know what? Now you're just reaching. Owie. See, that's exactly the sort of thing I meant. Sometimes despite your greatest efforts, things just go wrong. Owie. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here I want, but I am going to grab this. So, do I recommend that you go out and listen to Orden Ogan's Final Days? Real honestly, I'm just gonna say you should go out and listen to their entire discography. But talking strictly about Final Days, yes, highly recommended. It's one of those, as I said, it's an album that I keep going back to, and considering the strength of some of the music that was released in 2021, that's saying an awful lot that there's one album that I keep going, yeah, I want to listen to this again, and again, and again. You see where I'm going with this. And I believe the album topped out at number 3 on the German charts. And that in and of itself is part of the reason why I like doing Wizard of Metal, because I want to shine a light on things that deserve to have light shown on them. And if something can make it to that high of a position on someone's billboards, then surely there's got to be room for it to grow in other people's thoughts and opinions, right? But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys very much for listening to me just gush about this album. Even if it seems like I didn't do a lot of gushing, trust me, it was there. I love this album to death, and I hope some of you guys decide to give it a listen. It's an incredible album, and I think to be fair, yes, Orden Ogan is not a part of, if not sponsors of some of the biggest music festivals in Europe, but I would really like to see them get more of a foothold around the world, and I don't know, maybe just the few people that I reach with this video can help with that. It's a long shot, but, you know, just do it. Listen to the album. Do it for Alistair Vale. He would want you to do it before, you know, he destroys your land with his ever-present destructive force. Alright, that's really going to do it now. Thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Subscribe to the channel to see more stuff in the near future, and I will catch you guys later. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.